Gary, are you happy about Doctor Who?
No, but I'm not surprised.
I got to tell you, I was pretty impressed that 2.5 million people tuned the fuck out. It was like a 2.5 million drop in ratings, wasn't it?
It lost almost 50% of its ratings from the Christmas special. We'll see how this last one that came out like last night does, but it's difficult to say now because what they're doing is with Doctor Who is just repeating the same mistakes. They just dialed it up to 11, and they've tried to push, like in the first episode called The Space Babies, there's an abortion message. In a show about fucking babies, talking babies, there's an abortion message. And I'm like, yeah, you could put that in there, but like putting it in there with little babies that you're trying to save, and you're insinuating, well, you know, we're not allowed to kill there's a law against killing the babies, but then they complain that there's nobody to take care of them. And I'm like, oh fuck, are you kidding me? Did you just do that in this show? And that was just they call out capitalism, and ultimately though, it's just fucking bad. It's bad. And Ncuti Gatwa was a terrible doctor. We call him Nurse What instead of Doctor Who. Nurse What. Give Mahler definitely gets credit for that. And it's just the same old, except they brought back. This is why you don't want George Lucas coming back. You don't want anybody from the past who's been out of it for years and years coming back and running anything, because they will just disappoint you. So RTD, Russell T Davies, and Stephen Moffat coming back are kind of like like Joss Whedon coming back to Buffy. It's like George Lucas coming back to Star Wars, because they started the new era and they just don't have it anymore. And they're here to be activists. That's it. And it's all funded by Disney now. And it's no surprise that they, before this show comes out, because they knew it was a giant piece of shit, they gaslit all the fans. So they did the fan baiting marketing, the same crap we've seen with Kenobi, the same shit we saw with Rings of Power. They come out ahead of it. They try to get out ahead of it and start calling you all racist and bigots. And like they came, like Jinx Monsoon, the drag queen who is now trans actor in the second one, came out and said, hey, you know what? All the racist and bigoted Doctor Who fans could fuck off. Good riddance. Well, there'll be 2 or 3 to replace you because of the diversity.
Just like it did in comics.
Yeah. You know, and Ncuti Gatwa was like, if you don't like the show, just go touch grass. It's like, this is how they did. This was on their press tour.
They did go touch grass, motherfucker.
They did.
That's why
they tried to blame the ratings on the fucking weather.
I saw that. That was the first. It was too nice outside.
You know, and there's creepy themes in it too. And they really are trying to put, they're making it, it's more of a children's show now. It's way, instead of being aimed at, like, I'd say adolescents and above, where adults can watch too, it's definitely aimed at children, small children, which makes it even creepier.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, and coming from the Jimmy Savile's BBC and the current groomer Disney, it's you know, they've earned their reputations, folks. They really have. And it's, you know, it's the most murdered franchise of them all. Like, of them all. They went back in the past. They turned the first Doctor into a little black girl, and they completely changed the origin, and they re-solidified it in the newer versions. And it's just, you know, at this point, it's not even worth mocking. It's like picking on a retarded kid. You know, you're not going to get any satisfaction out of that.
Yeah, this shit, it's everywhere. Like, for example, so what was it, a couple of weeks ago was C2E2. I was there, and you know how they have that big like games area, and there's a bunch of kids there. They were doing, guess what? A story time drag hour. There's a drag queen fucking reading to a bunch of kids, and there they were.
That's been going on for a long time. As a matter of fact, a comic shop owner, a seminal comic shop owner, Chuck Rosinski from Mile High Comics, was doing that a decade ago in his LA store. So he's been doing it for a while. Drag Queen Story Hour. Yeah, they were doing that in San Francisco when I was living there. That's at the libraries. Sure. Yeah. Oh, we pulled our kid out of school for one of them. They tried to do it at the elementary school. My kid didn't go to school that day. So
I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, That's
when I saw that Doctor Who, because I've never seen Doctor Who in my life, but when I seen the gay black dude, I felt so bad for Doctor Who fans, man. That's a disgrace, man. Jeez Louise.
It's embarrassing. It was embarrassing to watch it, even to review it and roast it. It was embarrassing. I'm like, oh, God, I wanted to turn it down in my own fucking house so my family couldn't hear me watching it. My wife's like, what are you watching? Pee-wee's Playhouse? I'm all, no, it's actually Doctor Who. And it's really gay. And then the music started, that little singing routine at the end. I'm like, good God, I can't do this. So I'm out. I'm done.
If you want to be gay, it's okay.
That's fine.
Just don't make it your fucking personality.
There's gay characters in Doctor Who.
That's what Doctor Who is now. Like, that's his personality.
Well, there's no masculinity. So what you're getting here is like a Star Trek with no masculinity, a Doctor Who with no masculinity. Upcoming next, Star Wars with no masculinity.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear that the Star
We've been
Wars
trying to make it clear for years?
The prequel Star Wars thing, the Dawn of the Jedi, apparently has a name, Jedi Prime.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Hold on, what is that? What is that about?
The James
about the Dawn
James
of the
Cameron.
Force. It's Dawn of the Force.
It's all.
Why wouldn't they
like,
call it
a lot of
Dawn
these
of the
people
Jedi?
Their identities are their personality.
It's just predictably bad. So like when you hear the plot, you can go, well, okay, there'll be two lesbians, there'll be a non-binary character, they will be a misunderstood villain, forced to the dark side by the patriarchal Jedi and the unjust systems of the colonizers of the fucking whatever intersectional bullshit they're spewing that day. And what do we get in Alkali? We get a non-binary villain, which is just a girl. It's just a girl. Just a girl.
Two of them.
Just a girl in college right now. When she gets out of college,
you get two posters that look like one looks like a period blood, and the other one looks like a
tampon.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you think that's accidental? But don't forget.
No, of course not.
Don't forget the scrapped Game of Thrones prequel that they spent $30 million on was called Blood. It was supposed to be a super woke, female-led, basically Lan the Clever, who started the Lannister house. It's supposed to be a dude. They were going to make it a girl, right? But they called it Blood Moon. So in A Song of Ice and Fire, when you have your period, it's Moon's blood, and they named it Blood Moon. So they named it Period the show. Menstruation, the fantasy series.
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ. That's all I got.
Well, but don't put it beyond that at all.
If that's going on, maybe you could possibly take a day off if you work at CD Projekt Red to go watch it, because they just won the award for best menstruators in gaming or some shit. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, that shit's ridiculous. So they basically have like a new program for a bunch of employees if they need to leave for menstruation reasons or anything like that.
Wow,
they get paid for it.
That's crazy, bro.
It kind of reminds me. There was a story back a few months back in South America. There were a bunch of guys in the military that were identifying as women in the military because they got higher benefits and pension.
So now
you remember that
gives a whole new context to the Witcher blood origin.
Weird.
Witcher Blood Origin was fucking terrible, by the way.
I can't wait for that new season of The Witcher. When's that? Is that dropping soon, right?
The Bears.
They're filming
menstruation.
No,
Hey,
it's
they
done,
showed a
I thought.
They showed a picture of old boy as the main character.
Liam Hemsworth as Geralt.
He kind of look okay though.
But it's not as good as Henry Cavill. Come on, Henry Cavill's.
I feel sorry for him. He could look okay. He's still in a Lauren Hissrich written fucking TV show. It's gonna be dog shit. He'll be in it for 10 minutes.
It's gonna be trash.
Apparently, they're taking the rest of the books and they're condensing it into 2 seasons, and they canceled all the spin-offs.
I worked out the screen time. So we count. I had my research person and I both counted up the screen time for Henry in parts 1 and 2 of season 3. And he was in 22% of the show in part 2. 22% of his own damn show.
Mm.